That didn't. Oh, hey, yeah, now we work. Okay, you guys are all spread out. I need you to come up here because I like talking to you guys, not at you, and maybe even with you. So if you guys could all come up, pretty please. Pretty please. I'll even walk down the aisle and hold you guys' hand. Okay. If you don't know where Sacramento is, it's 2 hours north of the Bay Area. Uh, as an evangelist or a contractor, I work with Dolby, I work with Zappos, and I work with a couple of word of mouth companies. One job is not enough. Um, Before we get started, I spent some time at the Dolby booth yesterday, and I kept asking everyone that came by how they used audio and web. So would anyone here mind sharing with me how you use audio and the web? Yes. All right, so Podcast Party, that's cool. You should totally share that with us at the very end. Anyone else? Yes. Cool. What's this video platform called? Ingest. Is there a website for it? Ingest.io. That's cool. And so how would you say that that's different than YouTube? Cool. So Ingest is for enterprise clients to distribute audio and video. I like that. My experience with audio is a little bit different. I don't process it. I've done e-commerce, I've done celebrity websites, I've done web apps. And for me, the biggest impact for audio was when I was building the celebrity websites. There's other places that we can find audio. YouTube, Netflix, Facebook games even, Hulu. These are all things that you guys are familiar with using. When I built the celebrity websites, I was using YouTube videos all the time for these clients. Most of their websites aren't up anymore, which makes me really sad. Lady Antebellum's is still up, but every one of them, oh, and KOTB and Britney Spears, but Taylor Swift, Backstreet Boys, and Miley Cyrus has all replaced their websites with new ones. Every single time that they would do a new album or a new tour, I would be responsible for building the UI for these guys. So get the designs. The UI needed to match the album artwork, and whatever weird random thing that they would give me. Usually the photography was really nice. There always had to be a place for the music video to be on the website. We would have a music page where all of our albums would go, and we would have to upload. We would ping into the Apple iTunes API to pull audio tracks from their website. This is one of my best ones. I love this one. The code was amazing. It was absolutely clean and beautiful. And then there's Miley Cyrus. The whole focus, there's no music video link on here that you would think. It completely obscured every other website that I had ever built because there's no music video on here obvious to click, except when you clicked on the Wrecking Ball shirt. When you clicked on that, a YouTube video popped up in Fancy Box and played the Wrecking Ball music video. And the pot leaf filled the entire website with pot leaves. She found that from some other random website. It was the weirdest thing I'd ever built. But for me, going through these clients that I had, using audio in the website wasn't just uploading YouTube and using it. For me and for these people, audio was a product that I needed to sell. And if I did not do that effectively, if our designers didn't do it effectively, the artist doesn't sell, it hurts. It's their product, it's how they make their money. And I needed to understand that. Without the use of YouTube videos, without the use of iTunes, without the use of social media and these websites, they have no presence. Otherwise, they're going door to door and trying to sell their album, and it just doesn't work that way. With me understanding that, and our designers able to understand it, it's why we had, Taylor Swift's website would have 400,000 unique visitors per day. And they were able to connect with their audience. And I got to be a part of that. I understood how important that was. Now, not everyone's going to be able to work on a celebrity website. Like, I get it. Most people don't use web in the audio anyways. They might use it on a web app, like when you make a transition to a new page or you hit a submit form, but for me, that experience was different. I included audio in two ways. I already mentioned the iTunes link, so that's what the code is in the bottom right-hand side. And then we would always just use an iframe to load it for the YouTube calls, and then the fancy box calls as well. There's other ways to include audio and web. Some of you might remember Flash. How many people have been around long enough to use Flash on the web? Yes. And then the video tag came around with the HTML5 codecs, which is amazing. Totally makes my day. So if you guys haven't gone in and actually tried to embed directly video and audio, this is what the HTML looks like. The audio is a little bit different. It supports MP3s, OGGs, and waves. Has anyone actually had to ever use the audio tag in this room? You're all right, cool. It's not that hard. And the W3C documentation is really, really easy to go through if you need to. This is where, with HTML5, Dolby comes in. Who is familiar with Dolby? All right. Where have you seen Dolby before? Yes. You've seen Dolby in your parents' really old tape player. That is awesome. Who else? You.
That amazing sound at the start of movies.
Yes, that's exactly. So she has seen Dolby and the amazing sound of the start of movies. So you've gone to the movie theater and you've got the surround sound experience. I'm going to take a second here. Surround sound experience on the web. How does that sound to you guys? Ha, 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 ha. I like it. But guess what? You can now. So we know Dolby is an audio company. They are responsible for the surround sound technology that you see in the theaters, for the audio that you get when you buy your Blu-ray DVD and you look on the back and it says Dolby 5.1. So you guys see it everywhere, and you might not even realize it. Hollywood uses this technology all the time, and you buy it every single day, assuming you buy it. Now we can use Dolby Audio in the browser. Its format is AC3. If you view it in the browser, it's processed as an MP4. Surround sound, you'll see it on your Xbox 360, PS4, other games. If you guys use Voodoo app to redeem all of your digital downloads from your movies, you can redeem it to your Blu-ray account. Some people use iTunes for their redemption. I use Voodoo. I have like over 280 movies that I've put into my Voodoo library. The Netflix native app uses Dolby, not in the web yet. I'm really excited about it, if you couldn't tell. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys about it. I'm not really feeling the excitement from you guys yet. Yes. If you guys came by the booth yesterday, you got to actually play with a couple of these examples on the demo where you got to put on the headphones and play with some of these examples that we have. I was kind of being like, man, we should have had a full surround sound system, but I mean, trying to bring that here for you guys is a lot of equipment. But who went over to the Dolby booth yesterday? You did? All right. Okay. At the end, I'm going to ask you guys all to come to the booth, just so you know. All of these provide really unique examples of different ways of using audio on the web. And they're not really traditional as what we'd see on a website or a banking website or a business website. So these are really thinking outside of the box. The Feisty Galaxies is an in-browser game. It's a really cute little game. You use a little alien to kill asteroids. But it's a perfect example of how you would build a web game, and you could use Dolby Digital Plus to create that surround sound experience. And if you're plugging your computer into a TV or into a surround sound system, you're going to be able to get that. How many people plug in their computer into their TVs? Same 3 hands. Thank you. Some notes and disclaimers. Dolby Digital Plus, it's amazing quality. So if you're a publisher of audio and video, use it, do it, love it, breathe it. It's here for you to use today. It's the exact same technology that Hollywood uses, exact same technology that we see on streaming services like Vudu and Netflix that are offline. Not every browser supports it yet, though. So we're working on that. Right now, the big supporters are Microsoft Edge and Apple's Safari 9 and higher. Safari 8 says that it supports it, but it's like a false statement. The Dolby developer website has a full list, and we're updating it as soon as we update a new website, a new browser. We will update the website. If file size is a concern, it's not always true that the files are going to be larger than your traditional MP3. Most of the time now we just use AWS, so everything's stored not on your website anyways. How many people use AWS? Okay, all right, cool. I have a very tiny demo for you. And the reason the demo is so tiny is because it is so easy to use. There's some code up on the website, but, whoops, no, we didn't want to go that far yet. Sublime text. I have this really, really tiny index file. It wasn't even worth me turning on a server for you guys. Basic HTML doc file. I include the JS. Bring in the audio, video, whatever you choose. And then with the code, I just do a JavaScript check. I go into the browser. And in Chrome, we're not going to see anything. We're not going to be using the Dolby Digital Plus format because it's not supported. If we go into Safari, I was kind of shocked this morning. I didn't see any error messages. Apparently, if someone has IE Edge, there's supposed to be some notice here in the console that Dolby Digital Plus is supported. But if I play the song, it's with Dolby Digital Plus audio encoding. And what the Dolby JS file does is as I went before in the presentation, it's supposed to check for the MP3, OGG, and WAV files. If we look at the W3C, we don't actually have MP4 supported for audio yet. So what we do in the JavaScript file is we check for audio, if I can spell, we check for the audio MP4 for you guys. So there's no having to worry about doing the support check. We do that for you. Now you could use a service like Vidly, and Vidly handles all of that. Because most of the time you're not going to be handling the video or the audio directly. Someone's going to provide that for you. They're going to upload it to a CMS. Just as a developer, you just need to make sure that it's supported on the page, for the most part, unless you're backend. That's it for the demo, honestly. It's just include the JavaScript, write the code, run the check. It's not that hard. If anyone can think of anything harder, I'd be happy to listen. Do you guys have any questions at this point? I talked a lot faster than I thought I would. Yes.
Audio channels left and right.
Yes. So Dolby, what they do is if you have a Dolby encoded file, but you only have headphones, what it will naturally do is it will break down the channels into left, right, and center, and just do it for you. So you don't have to have an MP3 file that's encoded native as left and right, and it'll split it. So you still get you get even better quality audio using a Dolby encoded format than you get if you just have a left and right MP3. Good question. Anyone else? Yes.
I'm very familiar with Dolby coding.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to provide, for one Dolby support, I have to provide an audio file with that, and also, and not Dolby one, so I can have compatibility support, or that.
So yes, that's a partial yes. Whenever you're including files for audio and video on a website, you always want to have multiple files. It's just going to happen. So if you go in, no, the internet wasn't working that well. So if you go to YouTube and you go and view the source code and you see an MP4 for the video, they're going to have different quality types depending on your internet connection. So there's going to be different files anyways. And someone like YouTube and other video service providers like Vimeo will handle that for you. So yes, you need to have the multiple files for support, for sure. So being that, one thing I didn't do for this demo, I wish that I had better internet, otherwise I would have taken an audio file and uploaded it to encoding.com and then processed it to be Dolby Digital Plus compatible. It exports as an MP4. The MP4s is what we see everywhere anyways. So browsers like Chrome would just use the left, right, and front split, like what he was talking about in his previous question, and just process it for you. Encoding.com. Also, if you don't want to go to encoding.com, on the developer.dolby.com, this little tiny demo I have for you is on the website. And then there's a coding or a encoding tool. Whoops. Support utilities. And for free, you can go in and try this technology and upload any MP3, OGG, WAV file, MP4 video that you want, and try it yourself if you would like. So even if you don't do it in the web, you could even upload the file, export it as Dolby Digital Plus, and then if you have your computer hooked up to a surround sound system, you can try that and see how it works for you. I am not the audio engineer So I can't guarantee you it's going to be great quality if it's not Dolby Digital Plus to begin with. Also, we have, if you do want to play with it and you do want to try it, at the booth we have a $10 certificate that you guys can come walk by, huh? 10 gigabyte certificate that you guys can come by and swipe. Any other questions? Yes. Mm-hmm. Cool. It is a codec, yes. So you play with doing video and audio exports using the Adobe Creative Cloud tool. My answer is going to be twofold. If you want to really further look into this and how to export that audio to be DD Plus or 5.1, there is a YouTube video that I've also included on, it's on the browser tool tech support. And it will walk you through step by step on how to export your audio to be 5.1 surround sound. And what it takes is you have all these different channels, and then you put the audio to each channel and what you want it to go out. So the demo has left, right, bass, center, back left, back right, and walks you through the whole export process, and then even uploading it to the encoding tool. I hope you find these links very helpful. Was that helpful for you? Perfect. Anyone else? Is anyone else more inspired to use audio in web or can find a way to use audio in web? Yes. Mm-hmm.
That would be fun. Combining basically some updated graphics formats and having some, you don't need to see necessarily everything. That would be awesome.
I'm glad that this presentation has inspired you to learn how to use Dolby Digital Plus to create some web games. Yes, you had a comment to add.
I want to see more vocal performance. I don't want to see voice.
More vocal performance, yes. See, that's why I was like, man, if we had Dolby Digital Plus 5 years ago in the web for these celebrity websites, oh my gosh. I kind of skipped over doing all the celebrity websites, and not that I really skipped it, but I didn't. These performers, these bands, they connect with people. Their music is what gets people when they're down in the dumps, or if they just need something to inspire them. That their music does that. And so when I got to build these websites, I got to be part of a process that impacted people's lives in such a positive way and connecting the musicians with the fans. And that's why coming here and talking to you about audio today was so important to me, because I know that audio is important in web when used appropriately. Putting music on autoplay in the background of a website is the sure way of getting someone to close out of your website. Total user experience. Like, anyone who's taken any amount of effort to learn about user experience will know. You have music autoplay, you're going to close out of the website, and you will lose them forever. So if there's any argument I can make to you to encourage you to use Dolby Digital Plus today, it's a total user experience argument. You are, without much extra effort at all, probably not on your part as the developer, you can support better audio quality right off the bat just by starting with Dolby Digital Plus. Again, that's an argument you're going to have to make to whomever produces the audio. And we all know how that goes. Yes. So is the AC3 compressed?
When you're serving it up for the web, it's not an uncompressed WAV file. It must be lossy.
It's rendered as an MP4. So the AC3 is wrapped in an MP4 file. That's as best as I can tell you. My understanding is this is not compressed. Andy, do you have anything to add?
It's
less lossy than MP3.
But it is lossy, so you can still serve up a wave
Correct.
with the audio.
You'll have to encode. So you'll encode a wave into an EC3 file, wrap it in MP4.
Okay.
Cool. Makes sense. Anyone else? All right, well, I spoke a lot faster than I thought I would in all my preparations for you guys. So if you have any questions further, myself and Andy will be at the Dolby Digital Plus booth right outside to the right-hand side. In front of, this is A3, that's A1, right in front of A1. Otherwise, you are free to go. Thank you.